And what's up? Surprise! I'm streaming on a Monday night this week. Special circumstances mean that I've got a little extra time than usual. Alright. Oh, and what's up, Nimblebiter? How's it going tonight? I think the number one thing I wanted to do here was work on draining this ocean monument. So we got this going on in both servers now.
Hey, what up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me adjust the volume.
Okay. Yes, Nimblebiter, you are first. What's up, Koala Kicker?
Alright, there we go. Sorry I missed you yesterday. Or Saturday. We were drunk, having fun.
Yeah, man. No apologies necessary. I'm trying to see how I want to do this shit.
So you caught me in the middle of a StarCraft game, so I gotta finish this up before I can hop on.
Okay, yeah, no. So, yeah, the reason I'm streaming on a Monday night is it's spring break for the kids, and Isla has a friend over, and so they have the TV. Nolan decided that he's sleeping in our bed tonight, and our TV in our bedroom stopped working. And so I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking stream tonight. I want to play some Minecraft and lock myself in my office.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, that's why I'm streaming tonight.
Yep. Yeah, today was a bittersweet day for me. Good and bad, I guess you could say.
Well, that's awesome and shitty.
Yeah. Like I said, we can talk after stream, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess we can talk about it on stream. Maybe include some of the Twitch folks, but
Yeah, just include as little or as much detail as you feel like including.
yeah, absolutely. So basically, I don't feel comfortable using YouTube anymore. I know that sounds really crazy, and I'm sure everybody's incredibly judgmental, but hear me out. So, I don't want to do any streaming anymore where anything goes up on YouTube, simply because I have a huge problem with their choice of censorship. So they, I guess, recently took down any video with the word gun in it, or any video with a reference to a gun in it. While I understand that they have a very noble cause they're trying to solve, people like Westboro Baptist Church have a platform for which they could use to, spat out their shit. But people and organizations that I belong to can't even post videos without getting their accounts banned. So I've decided that I can't do that kind of censorship anymore. So I prefer not to be in any videos that you post on YouTube.
Wow, okay. Fair enough.
So And like I said, you guys might think I'm crazy, weigh in on it. I'm incredibly frustrated by that fact. So,
All right. Well, I won't stop you doing doing what you think is right.
yeah, so like Curtis, Connie's brother, I mean, he posted a video where he actually used the word gun in the title, and they banned the video. They actually made him take it down.
Well,
Or
what
change
about
the name.
video games? Because you're almost always talking about a gun in a video game.
I think that's okay. I tried doing a Google search for gun, and I couldn't find anything on YouTube for video games. But pretty much everything else, all the other legitimate sites have been taken down per, Google's trying to, or YouTube is trying to censor that kind of stuff. So they took it down. I don't know. They took everything down. Like the legitimate competition shooting guys, like they took down all of their stuff. Everything's gone.
Damn. I hadn't seen anything about that. That happened when?
Yeah, look it up, dude.
When did it happen? Like today?
Real recently. I want to say today or yesterday.
Man. Because, yeah, I mean,
But the Westboro Baptist Church they can post their shit online.
Well, yeah, I'll have to look up what's going on. I guess I would have expected to hear about that if it was that severe.
No, people are very selective of, what they, I guess, report on. But if you do a search for like gun reviews or holsters or competition shooting, that's all been blocked by YouTube's new video requirements.
Nimblebiter says he doesn't think it will affect Nerf guns and Guns N' Roses, which is a music band thing.
Correct. Yeah,
so
it does not block.
So it's not purely the word gun. They're blocking specific gun-related content, but with a very broad brush.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And my problem isn't the fact that they're censoring something, it's what they're censoring, their choice of censorship that really bothers me. It's like, if you're going to, go on this moral high ground, I'm cool with that. But there's other shit out there you could censor, not just guns. Alcohol, terrorism, organized religion.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating that, like, this is something that I enjoy doing in my free time, and it's now like a criminal offense. I don't know. I can't. It's very frustrating.
Well, at the very least, if things work out how you would expect them to, a competitor will, come up and have more lax rules.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think part of it is just it's inevitable because they become a media company. So much of the world's information flows through them, and they're beholden to a shit ton of advertisers.
I know.
And I think they've painted themselves into a corner where it's like, for them to sustain themselves as a business and maintain profitability, if all the advertisers are saying they don't want any gun-related content, I mean, I wonder.
They probably got a lot of pressure.
I always think it's a little more complicated than that.
I understand. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I mean, where's the moral high ground here? Is guns really the moral high ground?
Well, I would expect. I could see if. I would hope that they're only demonetizing them and not completely taking them down, but it sounds like they're just taking them down entirely.
They're taking them down entirely.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, what's really weird to me is. You would think it would just be one of those things that maybe they say, we won't allow monetization for these, which that's a totally different conversation, I feel
Google
like.
It. Open up YouTube and do a search for guns. You will not find one fucking video. And that's censorship at its truest form. Censorship.
Well, it's technically not, because they're a private company and they can do whatever the hell they want with content
This is
posted on
true.
their site. So I don't think the censorship argument has any weight whatsoever when talking about a corporation. I mean, it's their fucking content. They're hosting it. They're hosting it on their servers, so like, I don't know. It's not something I'm gonna get too worked up about, because it's capitalism working how capitalism fucking works, and if you support, you know.
But isn't Google always on this like moral high ground? Like, oh, we're trying to do the right, morally responsible. What, dude? This is proof that that is not even the case.
Oh yeah.
Because the moral high ground is to not even have this is news. We're not going to take content down, right? The internet's supposed to be. Remember the big kick on net neutrality? Everybody's like, oh, net neutrality. How is this any fucking different? How is this any different?
Wait, the net neutrality?
No, I mean the whole getting worked up about like the internet being free and open and all that crap.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I see, okay, I see the connection you're making. Yes, because the internet should be free and open. And so, like, individual websites, I think, should, be able to operate how they want, within the law, and only be held liable for other people's content up to a very limited extent.
I just think that they picked a really shitty side to, well, not, I shouldn't say picked a shitty side, because it is a good issue to tackle, but they went about it the wrong fucking way.
Yeah, okay, so Delson says, yet again, if those things were something that someone enjoyed and didn't harm someone, you'd be okay with that. Let me restate. He said that he didn't mind that YouTube was censoring something, only that it was censoring guns, but if it censored, like, say, something else, would you still be okay with it?
If it censors something, okay, so that's a good argument. If it censors something like the Westboro Baptist Church, right? Like, that's would I be upset if they censored something like that? No, I don't, because they're a shitty organization with shitty individuals. I guess I guess the gun issue is a little bit closer to me, but I guess that wasn't really what did it. What did it was they made a decision that they will sponsor some content and not other content. It's not a, hey, here's a free open platform. It's a, here's a free open platform to anybody for these excluded people, for these groups of people who don't play with guns, let's say, right?
Right.
I guess that's where my issue is.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, where my biggest unanswered questions would be is, are they making any distinction between removal versus demonetization? Because
flat removal. Like I said, look on YouTube. You will not find one fucking video. And that's what I have a problem with, is the whole, like, oh, we're this moral high ground organization that, no net neutrality, we want a free open internet, but only if it doesn't talk about guns. What the fuck? Seriously? But we're gonna put all this other shit on there. I don't know. Like, it's just such a... I am a little worked up about it, but it's very frustrating when people take something that I enjoy and criminalize that, and then, now I'm associated with that, and they're like, oh, you like guns? Well, you must be of a criminal element. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I can understand. I take a different approach because it is a private company, and I don't know, I can't help but be very cynical and just think these types of decisions come from shareholders and people that have a financial stake in the company, and it's always motivated by what they think is going to minimize their losses and maximize their profits. And so when I look at it that way, I just say, I mean, whatever, it's a private company. Right. If it's the government doing it, then, that's cause for major concern. But if it's a private company, like Chick-fil-A is like really open about their religious affiliation and, their stance on LGBT stuff. And yet I don't know anybody who doesn't go to Chick-fil-A because of, I mean, I guess there's some people that would refuse to go to Chick-fil-A because of...
Yeah, there are. Yeah. But I guess my problem is YouTube has always been this whole, open internet, open
Yeah, I
source
know.
platform.
No, I'm not.
And-
I don't think you're wrong for feeling the way you feel. I mean, it's hypocritical. Yeah.
And that's really where my frustration
Yeah,
is.
and
it feels very hypocritical.
Yeah, if a company or someone being hypocritical is something that really bothers you and you can't support them, then you're not wrong.
Well, I mean, this is the company by which 90% of the world's information flows through. I mean, Google needs to be that moral high ground, and if they really are going to be like, okay, this is appropriate, but this is not, how is it any different than what the government does?
Oh shit! I just started getting drowned.
I don't know. I am worked up about it because, like I said, it feels like this one thing that I enjoy doing in my free time is now criminalized because a few assholes, and they are assholes. And I understand what YouTube's trying to do. They're trying to, solve some of these issues by not, letting these kids see the videos. But it's not going to stop, It's not going to fix the problem. You're only criminalizing the people who enjoy it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy conservative friend that nobody wants to invite over. I don't know.
Well, I'm just trying to think. If there was a company that I used that did something equivalent that I was passionate about, I don't know.
Like, let's say YouTube took down Minecraft because Microsoft didn't like homosexuals. I'm just going to throw a crazy example out there, right?
Yeah.
Would you stop using YouTube?
That's a good example. Sure. I would definitely, if some company out there openly discriminated against people, I would refuse to support them.
Yeah, I think anybody who discriminates against another human being, should have no say in the matter.
Yeah.
But Westboro Baptist Church has a platform on YouTube which they regularly post videos, and they're allowed to post shit. So that's where my problem is.
I'll give you credit. At least you are providing two examples of, for fairness sake, of what you'd say a little more right-wing leaning issues. Both one that should be banned and one that maybe should be allowed, rather than, a left.
Yeah, so...
Because, the Westboro Church...
They're disgusting.
They should not have a platform.
But they've got
It is interesting because I kind of feel like you can make a philosophical argument that the type of filth that comes out of the Westboro Baptist Church it actually maybe does do more psychological harm and causes more overt harm in the long term and in the big picture than videos on guns. Yeah, maybe.
Dude, they stand outside
how do you quantify that?
They say thank God for dead Marines and thank God for dead faggots. They literally have signs outside of cemeteries that they do this shit.
I know.
So, like, for them to be given a platform to spout their hate speech, but for somebody to go post a review about a gun holster, like, really?
Yeah.
I just can't swallow that pill.
It's a jagged little pill, isn't it?
Yeah, I just...
Swimming in your stomach.
You want to post it on video, a daily video, Daily Motion, or Vimeo, or any other channel? I don't give a shit. But I just prefer...
No,
support YouTube.
We'll talk
anymore.
offline, but I mean, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I just put it on YouTube. None of it's monetized. I just put it up there because I like to archive our progress, and
yeah,
so
we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate dilemma by which I face myself. The good news is I have a job interview tomorrow, third interview.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bittersweet day. Like I said, it's more emotional. Like, what the fuck, really?
Well,
And then I go online, or then you go on TV and you watch this. You know, so everybody, did you watch the Stormy Daniels? No, I did not watch the Stormy Daniels interview. Oh man.
oh, Delson40, thank you for the follow. And yeah, we are 10 follows to 2,000. But you know what? I don't know. I'm gonna be a little bit of a beacon of optimism and say, hopefully they level out their algorithm and revert to a more fair and balanced approach, because I imagine if they've gone this far, there might need to be some course correction, and hopefully, I mean, they're always always tweaking that shit, so, you know, hopefully they find that sweet spot where, you know, they can, because I mean, let's acknowledge the situation that YouTube is a platform filled to the brim with filth and vile and horrible shit. I mean, you know, you to be fair, you did use the Westboro Baptist Church. That's an excellent example, because there's going to be countless channels like them promoting the most harmful worldviews you could imagine. So I think it's fair to acknowledge that there is a real problem. There really should be, for it to actually be a usable platform, something you would want to use and that you'd be willing to support. I think everybody would like to see some form of censorship in some direction. Like, you've got to cut some of that shit out of there, because
absolutely, I totally agree. So where is the?
So I will just say, it's apparently a very difficult thing, because you think about every individual person's values, and they're going to pick and choose what they think are the right things to ban, and they're going to get a lot of shit wrong, and they might get a few things right, and maybe one day it's not a platform notorious for human diarrhea just smeared all over the walls in every direction.
Yeah, and I'm totally okay with that. Like, if they want to ban Westboro and guns and liberals and Republicans and anybody from Fox News, I don't give a shit. But my problem is when you come across as this altruistic, you know, information sharing corporation, when you're very selective on the information by which you share. That's bullshit.
Well, it gets into an interesting situation.
Well, the only language that I know they speak is business, and I don't do business. And if I don't post shit on YouTube, they don't get my business. So yeah, we can talk.
Well, I can't help but find it a little bit interesting at the hypocrisy of some of the conservative bases.
Oh, absolutely.
Viewpoint on free markets, because, you know, let's say your average conservative, one of their like core values is that the market should be free. There should be minimal government intervention. Businesses should be able to be run how they're going to run, and they should be free to be recognized as people when it comes to taking political stances and affiliations. And so it's ironic that the same crowd that has been fighting for that freedom and wants these companies, you know, these private companies to be able to operate unfettered, are now the same ones crying foul when those companies start cutting off the things that they don't like, because they have, you know, they're operating within a capitalistic society according to those, you know. It's an interesting predicament to find yourself in, because, you know, if it were a more socialist or communist type society and there were you know, these platforms were provided by the government, then you wouldn't have these, you know, they wouldn't legally be allowed to take that kind of stuff down. And I could see, I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but
I find it very frustrating. Like I said, that's my only point, is that, you know, because YouTube is so big, I mean, it is a massive platform, and it is absolutely filled to the brim with human garbage.
It is.
But if this is really the first big battle you want to fight, like, really, this is when you're going to enter, like, the PC arena? I think it was with terrorism, right? Weren't they trying to, like, because before they had, like, beheadings and stuff from, like, ISIS, so they had to take that shit down? Like, they went from beheading ISIS videos, which I'm totally okay, you know, filtering, to, all guns and any reference to guns. It's like if we don't talk about them, period, the problem will go away. Rather than having a civil discussion or argument or political back and forth, it's just let's not talk about it.
Yeah. Well, me and you can talk about it because
Yeah,
whatever.
I know. It's just
if I'm gonna, I don't know. I think the critical mistake people make are, and
maybe I am being
conservatives.
crazy.
Well, no, conservatives and liberals all do this. Everyone's guilty of this. You self-select your friends to end up in an echo chamber so that the only points of view you hear are your own. And I think the only true way to encourage good dialogue, and I don't know, maybe convince people of why your point of view is right is maybe
right.
Maybe
that's
don't.
But that's the whole point of Aeropagita, right? The whole point of one of the most important documents ever written, in my opinion, on the subject of free speech, Aeropagita. That was literally the point. That if you can't have an open debate about something, you'll never be able to prove someone else wrong.
Well, let's just say I can see your frustration, and
it's very frustrating.
I at least know you well enough to know that you're arguing in good faith because you do shoot guns. You're trained. You've been trained. You've done it right, and you are actually an advocate for gun control, which, I mean, some level of you just because of your experience with guns, that people given free access to guns without any background check of any kind or training,
it's a terrible idea.
Or just giving people guns when you know how dangerous they can be and how easy they can be to mishandle. So I think you have a reasonable opinion on the matter. And
well, I definitely feel like a crazy Republican Fox News advocate right now. So
well, no, you're not using quite the arguments they use. Again, I'll push back a little and just, I just have to. I wouldn't call it censorship. I mean, I know it feels that way, but because we're talking about a private company.
You're right.
You're right. They are doing what they need to do to appease their shareholders and maximize their profits and minimize their loss. It's a cold, fucking calculated world they live in, and that's how it's gonna fucking play out. And I just can't help but be cynical about the whole thing and just say,
I know.
I guess I'm just glad it wasn't something.
Higher status.
Yeah, I'm just glad it wasn't something I'm passionate about. So for me, it's just meh. But if it becomes something I'm passionate about, then I'll probably get really pissed off and probably end up in the same boat. So, whatever, man.
Maybe. Like I said, I definitely feel like the crazy Republicans.
The turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, kind of. It's like, well, you support gun violence in schools? No, I don't. I don't like not talking about an issue. It doesn't fix the issue. Yeah. It's absolutely an important issue, but
I'm gonna just really hope that I'll see some I'll need to do look up some stories on what exactly is happening, because I haven't been aware of. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know there's been a purge of some of the really filthy neo-Nazi stuff.
No, dude, all gun, any gun videos are gone. Anything with the word gun, even.
Yeah.
You can do search Nerf gun and Guns N' Roses, but like I said, Curtis had to change one of his videos on YouTube because he used the word gun.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to understand what's happening exactly.
Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I read an incorrect article and I need to stand corrected. But if I am incorrect, I will admit it.
Yeah. Well, no. I think the ultimate test is, I wonder if you could find any videos on YouTube of guns or people shooting guns or going through gun training.
Yeah. I searched earlier today, and I couldn't find any. So if anyone out there in Twitch land has the ambition to try such a feat, go for it. But
Interesting.
oh shit, I forgot this is sand. I can't pillar jump, or I have to pillar jump.
I am glad they are cracking down on conspiracy theory videos.
Oh, me too.
Is something I'm very. So that's it. Let's flip the script around a little and just say there is a few correct moves being made, and I think taking some of that filth off the platform is
But honestly, even
possible
conspiracy theory videos, like if you like, I think the internet needs to be, and especially like video platforms, like more open, more for people to just post crazy, stupid videos.
Let's put it like this: videos that result in an angry mob harassing the parents of people that died in a school shooting for the rest of their lives. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I have a huge problem with it. I don't agree with it. Those people need to be taken out back and shot. But I still wonder who's drawing the line and what that line is, you know? Like, one shooting's okay and this shooting's not. Like, what are the standards? What are the rules?
How about flat earthers? Well, you got to also realize there are a lot of children that watch YouTube, and there is some responsibility to make sure you don't have content up that an impressionable young child could
totally agree
completely fuck up their worworldview on. So you can't assume that everybody watching these is capable of using a brain that's high functioning enough to tell that bullshit apart from real stuff.
Yeah, maybe you know, we delete all misinformation, right? But I guess, you know, now you start getting into the whole, you know, 1984 of what, you know, what real information is. I think that the internet was created to be free, open source, you know, platform by which we, you know, put our shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, this comes down to, I think, because YouTube runs the servers and it's like it's their property. That's where the internet is really weird, and the laws don't really cover it well in any regard, because it's ultimately someone paid for and is operating and maintaining a server. That data exists on the server.
Right.
And so while the internet itself is free and open, it's comprised of a bunch of private systems that have all agreed to connect together. It's fascinating. It's a fucking really interesting thing to think about, and the laws that were written, you know, centuries ago don't really account for
honestly, I don't think flat earthers and conspiracy theorists or even misogynistic pigs like Donald Trump should be banned from YouTube. I think everybody should have a platform to say whatever the hell they want, but you're also going to be ridiculed, and you're going to be, you know, whatever the public equivalency of, like, public shaming, you know, I guess on the internet, right? You'll be publicly shamed.
Let's
if
put
you
it this way.
something.
If someone were to express any of those views in my house, I would kick them out of my house.
Which views?
Misogynistic, like, you know, the really bad shit you're talking about that you think they should have a platform for. I would kick them out of my house. And I think most people would kick them out of their house, and I think most people would think that's reasonable. You don't want some, you know, crazy person coming in and, you know, being all aggressive and spouting, you know, horrible viewpoints, and, you know, trying to tell your kids that, you know, it gets back to the Westboro Baptist Church. It's that whole argument.
Right, but that's I guess where I have the problem. It's like, okay, if that's going to be the standard, right? Like, okay, gun violence. Okay, got it. Gun violence is bad. It doesn't seem to be stopping any gun violence on TV or gun violence in the movies. Like, I don't know why not talking about an issue fixes the issue, you know? Maybe I'm not, I don't have all my thoughts collected. I don't, any argument, I don't care whether it's Nazism or whatever. I mean, that's why Nazis have a platform
before we lived in an age of information, the age of the internet, where you have platforms to shout your private thoughts to 7 billion people, or however many billion people have the fucking internet. you know, normally you didn't have to really think about that shit when you thought about, hey, freedom of speech and all this great stuff, and you know, we should all be able to express our opinions. Normally, the ramblings of a crazy person just happened, you know, off to the side of the road,
Yeah.
and everyone knew to ignore them because, like, you know, clearly that, you know. But
And we do
things
still,
are a little
right?
more
We still ignore it.
things are a little more complicated now. It's, you know, anybody can use the internet to become a little, you know, expert at making professional quality looking YouTube videos, and I mean some real dangerous opinions can be put out there. And you know, again, if it's a service the government is providing, then yeah, there's very little they can do to stop a lot of that. But for a private company running their own private, you know, you sign up for their terms and conditions and you agree to their terms of service. You signed up.
Yeah.
I mean, you signed it when you were going to use it, so
Right.
it's just like everyone's gonna draw the line, and they're gonna probably use their own morals to decide where they think that line should be.
Right.
And
So,
I
and
think
because it's
everybody-
a private company, and the
Yeah.
only thing that they understand is the bottom line and bottom dollar, and the only way that I can get, you know, express my angst or, you know, whatever, is to advocate not to go on their platform. So that's all I can do. That's all I can do. Literally, is go somewhere else to talk about these issues, or, you know, with my gun trigger, you know, friendly friends. You know, go someplace else to talk about this stuff, and not do business with YouTube. So I have I don't know. It's like I said, the Westboro thing bothers me. It's like you really picked a shitty side to. I shouldn't say you picked a shitty side. I think that they picked the wrong thing to come in and pick a side on. Like, it wasn't gay rights, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You know, and you know, the women's movement for getting Hillary Clinton elected, right? It was gun control. Why? Like, I don't get it.
Yep. You know, it's a company led by a bunch of humans, and apparently the people in charge, whatever influenced their decision, made them realize or come to the conclusion that it was more of a liability to have the, you know, and especially with, oh my god, you know what, okay, so wasn't there a recent law that was just passed that holds internet providers or people providing internet services liable for the content hosted on their platform? I'm pretty sure that was like just passed in a recent like internet
So,
bill.
with 300 million guns in America, do you really think that YouTube is responsible for gun violence?
No, hold on. Just follow me through this. Do you know
Alright.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I do. I vaguely remember this story about how content providers. But I thought that was a European law.
No, well that could be enough too. Anyway, I want to look that up, because what I wonder is, I had heard about other companies, I think Reddit for instance, taking down a whole bunch of subreddits because
Yeah,
that
the
law
Donald
going
and
into
the-
effect technically means that they could be taken to court for.
Wasn't the fat shaming one the big one?
I think
Like,
so.
There was a fat shaming thread,
Yeah.
subreddit, and then Reddit started getting in the whole. Yeah, Reddit too. I mean, they're in the same boat. You know, it's all
Yeah. And what's up, Phantom Games?
filtering. I don't know, man. I prefer for, you know, everybody to post whatever shit they want online, and if you post some shit that's gonna get you in trouble, well, then guess what? Then it's your
Yeah.
problem. So
Well, all right.
post away.
So I think we got to do some homework. The amendment to this discussion is, and this is a critical, I think, piece of it, is if there really is like a new rule or whatever in effect that holds companies liable for the content hosted on their platform, I would submit the argument that YouTube and these other companies are purging a lot of this to shield them from potential legal, because they could get sued and have to pay out millions of dollars for if that law is really, you know, if
But
it
that
is.
wouldn't make any sense, because I mean, every single violent movie and video game alive would be sued.
Well, uh, I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure there's been something recently going on with that. So I would.
They may have done it for a European reason. That's another thing I think we should look at. We should see if there's a European law that prevents them, or that may have been passed for precludes them from posting videos about gun violence. That I don't know. So I think that might be another good point. But either way, I'm definitely interested in researching the topic. But
Yeah. I'm interested in the why, in the real. That is a surprisingly drastic move to take.
It really is. I think they did it for. I think they had good intentions. I honestly do believe that. As angry and pissed off as them as I am, I think that they, at the heart and soul of things, are trying to do something morally, I think, good.
Yeah.
But because some of these, a lot of kids may get their ideas from these violent, maybe YouTube videos. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, but
so
just put a blanket ban on one thing and not another. It's like there's a very squiggly line here.
Well, I can see a world. I'm just drawing some possible conclusions as to, if you think about all the claims and things that have been, statements that have been made, and I think a lot of these shooters have admitted to, or they found that they watched a lot of YouTube videos to learn, to get their training and learn how to, handle their weapons and everything.
Okay.
And so
I'll tell you right now, YouTube will not teach you how to shoot a gun. Shooting a gun will teach you how to shoot a gun.
Right, but I mean, obviously, I think the point stands that they are a company that has information on how to do just about anything. And so if they suddenly find themselves in a situation where they could be held liable for, training, I could see a lawyer bringing some kind of a case forward where, YouTube is, class action lawsuit. I can see all of that. It seems like such a plausible situation.
So hold on, I'm gonna look something up real quick on YouTube just to see if I can prove my point. If I have a point, I don't even know.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. The internet is it's a really interesting topic because and here in the States we don't have government provided internet. It's all provided by private companies. And so it's just getting
so I just
so
pulled
wild.
up a YouTube video on how explosives work.
Okay.
So we can talk about explosives and how to make explosives. Probably not detailed instructions, but
And
don't see the difference between harm coming from a gun or harm coming from a bomb.
so what happens if you type in how to shoot a rifle, a hunting rifle? I'm just curious.
How to shoot a rifle. First thing that came up. Oh, interesting. Some of these sites are coming back online. Some of the videos. How to shoot a rifle. World champion shooter Jerry McCulloch. Shooting a rifle for the first time. Tips for beginners.
Oh, I mean, so it's...
I wonder if they change it. Hold on and see.
I mean, so I will say there's another possible side to this is that in every one of these waves of bans they've done, they've caught a lot of innocent videos by mistake, and people had basically just had to go through the appeals process to bring them back online.
Yeah, because this is Rifle and Grip Stance Rifle 101 with Top Shot Chris Cheng by the National Shooting Sports Foundation, NSSF. And these videos were not here earlier, so I wonder if they put them back up.
Yeah. Sierra says, but Matt, the argument there is I can do a chemical engineering degree and learn how explosives work.
Yeah, you can.
That's true. Well, I'm glad we can discuss these topics.
And the only way you're going to learn how
different
to
points
shoot a
of view
gun,
on
though, is to... Yeah, the only way you're going to learn how to shoot a gun, though, is to go out and practice shooting a gun, right? Not from YouTube. YouTube isn't going to teach you how to kill people.
Yeah. Well, like with any topic, it can definitely supplement and go a long way towards giving you
I
a lot of information.
and I would argue that Westboro Baptist pushes that issue further than some of these gun people do.
For sure, man.
They promote violence against homosexuals on a daily, if not hourly basis.
For sure, dude. Not arguing there at all.
So I think they all need to be shot and drugged and quartered, but, you know, because of free speech, we can't do shit to them, but heaven forbid you own a fucking gun. Alright, so it sounds like I need to do some more research on the subject before I run my mouth anymore, so.
Yeah. Well, and just remember too, everything is very partisan these days, so you have to... Reading news articles is a little bit of an art sometimes, depending on where you're getting your news from, whether it's, you know, a very liberal or very conservative blog. There's going to be a bent.
So YouTube said this week it would tighten restrictions on some firearm videos. It said in its latest policy announcement. Video streaming service. It would ban videos that promote either the construction or sale of firearms and their accessories. So this is sounds like a ban. What if I create a
on the construction and sale?
Hold on, let's see here. So this is an updated news article. It says, while we've long prohibited the sales of firearms, we've recently notified creators of updates we will be making around content promoting the sale or manufacture of firearms and their accessories, specifically items like ammunition, Gatling triggers, and drop-in auto sears, YouTube said in a statement.
Well, that's a lot.
The company had previously banned videos showing showing how to make firearms discharge faster. Which I totally agree with. YouTube acts as a virtual public square.
Oh, Rasinka. So Rasinka said she saw a really interesting TED Talk by an ex-member of the Westboro Church, and I saw that same TED Talk, and it was really inspiring. And it's really cool to think that some actual people have escaped that church and have dedicated their lives to a more positive message.
So it sounds like they're going after gun manufacturers and not necessarily gun shooters.
O-N-Y-E-T-E. Anyways, I'm sorry, say that again.
So it sounds like they're going after manufacturers' videos and not user videos. So user created content, except if it's used for like how to create like high-powered weapons.
I think they want to avoid being involved in like the arms trade and people manufacturing and selling guns.
Well, yeah, because it's free advertising for the gun manufacturers, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
I mean, that I can totally understand. That makes sense to me. Like, if you want to say no, we're going to say no to gun manufacturers because, like, that I'm okay with. But if it's just user content of, like, you know, how to shoot a gun or how to hit a target or how to hunt a deer, like, that is fucking ridiculous. But it sounds like this article is saying that it's only specifically targeting manufacturer of sales, firearm sales. So we'll see how this shakes out, but I may be incorrect in this whole temper tantrum I'm throwing, but...
Well, that's right, man. It's positive dialogue.
I am very passionate about free speech, whether it's
anything, it gives
right,
us,
wrong, or in between.
Well, if anything, it gives us an opportunity to actually just bullshit about these things in a more neutral way, because I don't know that you can find a whole lot of that in the world right now. I really... It feels like it's been forever since I've heard an honest political debate.
This is one of the few countries that you can call the leader of the most powerful country in the world a scrotum that looks like he's been dipped in Cheeto dust.
Yeah.
Like, fucking North Korea, Russia. Like, freedom of speech, I think, is important. So I don't like anybody really being banned or shut, forced to be silent. Like, everybody should have a Some say, but man, if you get publicly ridiculed or shit like
Man.
that, I have no sympathy.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to revisit some of our old classic arguments about, should there be a government option? Like,
I don't know. Has
when
my
you talk about
position
public
changed
schools
over
and
the
the
years?
postal service and stuff, shouldn't we not expand the government? Make sure that there's a basic government option for all of these types of services so that everybody can have that platform, and then the private companies that want to run their own competitive versions can filter out as they wish.
Totally agree.
So I don't know. Maybe
100% agree, because I think that, well, I mean, that's a tough one,
because then you start to veer more towards a socialist economy, which personally,
Right.
I mean, there are definitely some positive characteristics to every different economic model, and there are some negative characteristics of each one. And
I don't know. I see nothing positive with anything Ayn Rand has ever said, so
well, there you go.
just
fair
so you guys know, I'm not that crazy conservative. I am much more middle of the road. I
You're not
have a
complete
huge problem.
libertarian.
Not a complete libertarian, not a complete conservative. I have a huge problem with free speech, and I think it's very important that people be able to express what they want when they want to whomever they want. But if you get punched in the mouth, then you had it coming. But you should still be able to say that without getting imprisoned or shot or whatever.
Yeah, let's just go full political on this, Okay, boom.
Yeah, let's
Next
do it.
topic. Healthcare. Should
Healthcare.
we have a government option? Universal healthcare, I say yes.
Yes, we have enough money in the United States that we can provide it for everybody.
Oh man, Matt, how do you call yourself a conservative when you sound like a fucking communist?
Really? More communists than Republicans who are sucking Putin's dick right now? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
The same
okay, yes.
Republican Party who is so anti-Russian
Okay.
that they're like, oh, if you talk to Russians, you're a fucking
Oh, you're
communist
the
and we're going to arrest you. And now they're literally sucking his
Yeah.
dick, congratulating him on
That's
cheating
why-
on the election.
See, that's why we're always going to be friends regardless of our political differences, because I don't know how you call yourself conservative, but you seem to at least pick the right side of most of these arguments. God damn it. I mean, Jesus,
Because-
yeah, how does the Party of America suddenly side with the Russians? Like, what the fuck is
Dude.
happening?
I don't know. I don't get it at all. And and they're like, oh yeah, he fucked a porn star. So what? Have my Christian dollars. Like, really? Like, where were the Christian fundamentalists and all this shit?
Yeah,
Like,
that's stupid.
like Billy Graham just died, and the Stormy Daniels interview came out. Like one of the most famous pastors in American history, if not the most, just died. Like 3 days before or a week before the Stormy Daniels interview, where the president of the United States was fucking a porn star because of Shark Week with his wife. Like, come on, that guy's a tool.
Well,
And I am conservative, but I do have some morals.
you're a fiscal conservative, I believe is
Yeah,
what they call you. That's what they call
Yeah.
your breed.
Yeah,
Fiscal
I believe the market should be
conservatism.
left alone. Let it autocorrect itself.
I lean
Mosaic
pretty
fair.
well. For what it's worth, I lean pretty damn solid blue.
Yeah, and honestly, every one of my friends in DC were blue, hard blue. And the only time I did actually change my opinion on food stamps once. It was a very good argument, and probably the only political argument I've ever been in where I've changed my mind. But it was my friend Jeff,
Well,
and it was about food stamps.
Here, hold on. Let me. Yeah, Rasinka was giving me shit about this last night. Break the bottom block and place a torch. It'll break the whole stack.
Wait, what?
Do this. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. That.
God, I fucking hate Rasinka.
Rasinka, I love you. Look at New Mexico. We need medical help, says Sherlock 2300.
Yeah, I know. But see, I don't know why you should have to pay for healthcare. Like,
Right. It's
of all
no.
the free
In
shit we get.
this,
Like,
yeah.
keep my
What
social security. Just give me
if-
some fucking healthcare.
if we are going to call ourselves one of the most or the most advanced nation in the world, I mean, well, we like to always claim we're number one at everything, right?
Well,
How about healthcare? Like, there's like very definitive data that concludes
I
that
know.
our healthcare lags behind almost all other
I agree.
developed
I agree.
countries. I don't know why we have to stick our head in the sand about that. Like,
I learned
and
something
instead
very
we get a
interesting today.
shitty compromise bill, you know, with the Affordable
know.
Care Act, and it's you know, yeah.
So I always wondered why the president doesn't just say, "Hey, I like this thing in this bill, so we'll take this but not this." You know, they called it a line item veto, right? And that's what Trump's trying to do again. And I always thought it was like, hey, yeah. I mean, it just seems like an easier way of passing a law. But I learned today that that's actually considered unconstitutional and was decided by the U.S. Supreme Court that would give the president too much power. His only power should be whether or not to approve the budget or not to approve it, not to make line item decisions. So
When
that was
this
actually
decided?
that was actually Bill Clinton v. New York, 2001. So fairly recently, 6-3 decision, and most of the people who made that decision are still on the Supreme Court. So it would still hold
Interesting.
that giving the president line item veto power is too much, and that much power is reserved for Congress.
Or Monica Lewinsky. Sorry, not hanging fruit. Actually, I feel bad. She's lived a pretty rough life, so I'll never make a joke at her expense again.
Nah. So, anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting.
I
But
think Bill
yeah,
Clinton has turned out to be one of the great abusers of our time. That
did you know George Bush only had a 25% approval rating at the end of his presidency?
does not surprise me.
It doesn't either, but like I thought Trump was bad, but apparently Bush was worse at the end of his presidency.
Well, I mean, actually, you can almost definitively say that Bush was a worse, more harmful president than Trump in a lot of ways. I mean, he started a war that, I mean, they committed war crimes.
Yeah,
I mean, they
it's
committed
only applicable
actual
if it's
war
somebody else other
crimes.
than us.
And, we started a war completely on false pretenses.
Yep.
And,
Well,
that's the kind of shit
one
that
war.
is...
The Iraq War, not
Right,
Afghanistan.
the Iraq War. But, it's hard. I don't know what to call it. It's basically spawned, endless battle in the Middle East. So, whatever.
Yeah, well, the same guy that counseled President Bush is now back counseling Donald Trump because he fired what's-his-face, so...
That it describes everyone in his administration. He fired
His chief of staff,
his or her face.
Chief John Kelly, I think his name was.
And
the chief of staff, I guess
that's scary to me. Actually, that's the most terrifying thing. Is nobody can last more than. I mean, how do you end up with people that actually are there long enough to start doing much of anything?
There has been one since the very beginning, and
hey, what's up,
all I have to say is, thank God he is still there because he is an awesome individual. But that would be Mattis. He's still the Secretary of Defense.
All right, man. Well, we're kicking ass on this thing. You see how much we've already got drained? Just talking politics and draining a fucking ocean monument.
Yes, please excuse my rant this evening. It seems like I was incorrect in some assumptions, but yeah.
Well,
Take the issue very personally.
That's fair. Fostered good debate.
Like I said, it was more about freedom of speech than anything, and I do hold Google at a very high standard because they have so much power.
I mean, they did capitalism, Matt. They did capitalism.
They did capitalism.
I don't know what else to say. That's just what I always have to remind myself when it comes to companies is like, if I'm going to take a moral stance on something, let me take a step back and just recognize that at the end of the day, the vast majority of these decisions happen for the very boring reason that it was going to make the
To make the
company
money.
the most amount of money possible.
Or save the money, yeah.
And it's
I
such
know.
a sad, boring. Everyone wants a way more juicy, sexy narrative than that, but it's really a super lame situation.
But it's not always the case. Like, you know, like Elon Musk, right? Dude, like, he found out he had a Facebook account and was like, yeah, fuck Facebook, delete, right? Like, he could have used it to make money, I guess. I don't know what shit you were going to shoot into space that you need Facebook for, but, you know, I think people can and do take the moral high ground sometimes, and really, I think that Google can and should, because the government sure as fuck won't.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that was more of my anger, is because I had so much faith in Google, you know, to be this open source platform that we could all post stupid shit.
Well, we've both been long enough now to see the rise of Google and YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Well,
anyway, I hope everyone on Twitch is doing okay. Sorry for the political talk. Sorry if it's all something for sensitive ears, but you know what? I'm gonna say what I want to say, and Matt's gonna say what he wants to say, and we're gonna be respectful about it because we're friends. And if people can't handle hearing honest debate,
yeah, I think it's an important debate, but that's why, you know, we shouldn't have censorship, right? Everybody should have a say, whether you agree with it or not, but it should never come fisticuffs, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a bad way of arguing, and we've never gotten that far.
Yeah, that's true. Rosinka says you can't make money from sex blogs on many of Google's platforms. That makes sense because
Yeah, again, I understand
Google
now
trolls, yeah.
what Google's motivation was, right? They're, you know, targeting the manufacturers. You know, fine, whatever. If you don't like the manufacturers, I'm okay with that. I think a complete ban of all user content is completely inappropriate, though, because that's what YouTube is, right? It's a literally, it's literally what they do, is user content. So, and I think people should get pissed off if, you know, if people ever censor anything that you post online or something that you do, and you're not hurting anybody and it's not anyone else's business, you should fucking do it.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, politics, dude, don't like politics, don't want to talk politics, hate politics, because I think most people I talk to are very impolite about it. So,
yeah, well, you know that I'm just gonna disagree with you, and hopefully I maintain a pretty calm voice when I do. It is easy to get like heated about this stuff. I don't know why.
I think because it's close to so many people. It's issues like God and religion and abortion and guns
that's
and
true.
You know, your freedom of speech and, you know, the things that your friends, loved ones, or, you know, family have died for. So you should be pissed and emotional about it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we got is our freedom.
Well,
So,
our freeze peach.
freeze peach. That's right. And freeze Minecraft.
They took my freeze peach.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever read Milton's Areopagitica, but it was actually an incredibly famous paper, or poem, I guess you could say. It was about censorship. They were trying to put I guess there was a fee in Britain during the British Civil War. They wanted like a shitload of money for publishers. So for you to write a book, you had to pay like a ridiculous, exorbitant fee for the government to allow you to write. So it's basically an argument against that form of censorship.
Well, all I have to say to that is, you know what? At least the one thing that never will censor us is fucking Minecraft.
And that's just it. Like, I want to get on, you know, Minecraft and say stupid shit and be offensive and dirty and joke with you guys. And I don't want YouTube to come along one day and be like, oh, this guy says something offensive. We're gonna delete his videos. We don't like this.
He talked about pooping once and touching it with his bare hand. That's a bannable offense. I never.
Well,
talked
this guy
about that,
did
by
it
the
with
way.
his hands.
I don't know why that was the example I
This guy
picked.
did it with a gun. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm really curious to see what direction like the world is going right now. Like we're on this PC kick, very PC kick. It kind of reminds me of the South Park episode. I don't think you've seen it yet with the PC Principal.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any of those?
No, but I mean, again, it's a very. I'll just continue to say this is a very interesting topic because everything has gotten morphed so much. There never was a Facebook or a Twitter or, isn't it crazy that we live in a world that people are constantly just shouting at each other left and right in 255 character shouts or whatever the limit is. Maybe 240, whatever. I would hope 255 to satisfy my base 2.
Yeah, the human language has literally devolved to 255 characters.
But it's just crazy that we live in a fucking world where everybody's constantly shouting at each other all the time and randomly magnifying each other's voices. And so when you have this many voices screaming into the void, sometimes the void screams back, and it gets fucking scary.
It's pretty dark.
You know what? And the void that's shouting back.
The void. Sometimes the void
that's shouting back.
It's like an intro to a horror movie.
The void that's shouting back is the politically correct void. And you know what? Let's flip it. Let's flip
manipulated.
Well, let's flip the script.
Look at how easily that's manipulated by the Russians. I mean, right? Everybody's now seeing that the Russians,
right?
Another government has significantly influenced people's whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but
yeah.
I don't know. Like,
well, just think of it like this. Think of it like this with the whole PC thing in general. You have a world for better and for worse. So the bad thing is that everybody's shouting into the void and it's loud and noisy and confusing, and you have the most beautiful things ever being said and the most horrendous things ever being said all at once at every hour of the day. So, I don't know. There's all that coupled with, on a more positive side, historically marginalized people now actually have a voice and a means to project their voice and amplify their voice. And so you can look at it in the other direction to say, well, I guess some of these systems are designed that if people say a bunch of shit that maybe normally they would have said in private to people that all share their worldview and they would have no context of what they're saying being bad, but now they're saying it on a global platform that everyone in the world can literally listen to, there is always going to be somebody that is going to be offended or hurt by something you said, and it's fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird.
So if you know that somebody's going to be hurt by something you say, then why not just learn to blow it off?
Or why not just not use those platforms? That's the real heat of to me, that's the real heart of the issue, is like
what's that?
PC culture is what it is because everybody wants to use these platforms at once, and you just have to accept that a side effect is, just like everyone wants to have their free speech, the people that are offended by things other people are saying are going to voice that they're offended, and if enough people say they're offended, then it's going to trend to the top of a hashtag or whatever the fuck it is, and then it gets amplified, and and people technically aren't wrong for being offended, just everybody has a different life situation. I do have a little bit of problem with just offering blanket condemnations towards people and for having any number of opinions, because that shit, fucking life's crazy. You're a product of your environment to a certain extent, so I try to be a little more compassionate, but man, I don't know.
Everybody should have a platform to voice their opinion, and if there's a platform that is so big that the world uses it, like YouTube or Google, you owe it to the world to be that moral compass, I guess, right?
I mean, isn't it ironic, though, the people that are upset about all the politically correct people are being so sensitive about it?
The people being...
Well, I don't know, man. At a certain point, you would think people saying,
I don't think I'm sick of it.
well, people saying the
I don't
racist
think
things
I'm
and stuff out there, you'd think they'd just be like, rather than be like, oh, don't tell me I'm racist, that hurts my feelings. Just be like, I don't know, if you're gonna be a jerk, just own up to being a jerk. And it seems for some of the people, specific people complaining about PC culture, it's ironic that they themselves are getting their feelings hurt so much by other people getting. It's a weird snake eating its own tail situation.
Yeah, I guess I. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I do anything that someone would consider PC. You know, I try not to offend anybody at all. But I guess my problem is like I don't like, some shit is just ridiculous. Like I don't know. I don't even know. I can't remember what happened the other day that I got corrected by somebody in a store. And I guess that's where my problem is not that it's a PC issue, is that, you know, I'm like at a, you know, in a restaurant or whatever, and somebody's correcting me. It's like, really, dude? Or dude, or ma'am?
Well,
like, like, I understand you have an opinion, but so do I, and maybe you shouldn't share your opinion. But the South Park reference, the South Park episode I'm referencing was when there was a frat party and Randy gets, you know, obviously joined the frat party. And there's these two farmer guys. And he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, looks like everybody's PC again." He goes, "How long do you think it's gonna last for this year?" He's like, "Oh, about 8 years, like last time." So I kind of look at it like that. I kind of think it is one of those, you know, PC fads that will last for a while, then we'll stop.
Yeah, there's no reason to really get too worked up about any of this. I mean, come on, we're both in our 30s. You've seen this merry-go-round go round a few times. It's just gonna keep changing.
I know, dude, but like YouTube and, you know, some of these big organizations that I trust to keep me from the government. You know, from
Did you just say you trust a corporation, man?
I do. I know.
No, that is your problem.
I even trust
Don't
some
trust
churches.
Them. No, you never trust those people.
No, I do, but it's true. There are some people out there that do give a shit.
Doc Sauce, alright, I want to read what Doc Sauce said here. You know what is funny? People have tried to be so PC and they can turn out not to be and backfire. For example, my wife is black and I'm white, and I always find it funny when someone not black says African American describing a black person, when I'm just laughing to myself because they may not be from Africa and they are black, technically brown.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a beautiful expression to be made. Thank you, Doc
Yeah,
Sauce.
and they get pissed about it. Like another one.
No, it's a perfect illustration of like how, you know, the good intentions of, you know, trying to clean up our speech and not hurt other people can sometimes just get silly. It can get silly.
I got a good one. I was doing a questionnaire on I think on a job application, and you know, it was what's your ethnicity, and it's not white, Hispanic or other, right? And I can't remember how we got in the middle of this conversation, but Hispanic isn't a race, right? It's a I get, what would you call it, culture, but it isn't one of the official, you know, I don't know what you would call it, when they talk about genealogy and, you know, where everybody comes from. You know, there's Asian, Caucasian, I can't remember what they all are. But Hispanic came up, and then I said it's not technically a race. That's why it's not listed among the races. It's, you know, Caucasian or non-white, whatever. And that's, I think, the comment that we were talking about it in the store, and somebody turned around and got super pissed off about it. You know, it's just one of those little things. It's like, really? This really offends you so much? Like, it's a scientific differentiation, not a knock against Hispanic people.
Yeah, no,
you know,
you're arguing over nomenclature, essentially.
Yeah, but that offended somebody, right? When I said that it wasn't technically a race. And my wife actually works with caregivers from Africa, so they are actually African Americans, and they think it's absolutely hysterical when people stutter and stumble over their language with, what to call them. Like, no, we are from Africa. We don't mind being called African Americans.
Yeah.
But
well, that whole topic and side of things is a very, very, very charged and very sensitive subject. And I'm just going to put it out there like this. Being a white dude, I'm going to just kind of defer to, the affected people on how I'm going to let them decide what is and is not the appropriate discourse. And so... if there's one thing I've learned, it's that, you know what, I'm just going to let them kind of set the boundaries, and I'll be happy to, hey, I just want to treat people with respect, man.
And that's I'm in the same boat.
I'm not going to sit out there and posture and say, oh, this is my strongly held opinion about it. No, man, that's not my job here. My job is just to sit back and
have fun.
Just
right. And I think
not just have fun, but just, hey, I'm in a relatively okay situation. I don't really have a right to complain about being treated unfairly by police and being, going through some of the, so
I'm in the same boat.
Why would I waste my breath?
I've never been discriminated against. So with people who have been,
I'm gonna really give them. I'm gonna just give them the benefit of the doubt on this one.
Yep.
Seems like I'm not going to
touch that one. Yeah, that's one of those things where it's still a sensitive subject and people still are dicks about it. So I'm just going to do the respectful thing and not, not be disrespectful, I guess, or, set the boundaries like you said.
Yeah.
I think that's a good term when talking about, I think it's a really good term that you could use to teach people on how to treat other people, right? Like good rule, the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. Let other people set the boundaries should be another one. I think that's a really good.
Yeah.
Just let them tell you where they're coming from, and if they don't like it, they'll tell you, and you should probably stop. But I think Doc Sauce had a great example, and I'm glad that someone else here with the could pipe up and because he's absolutely right. It is a very interesting conundrum.
I mean, just all of our moral foundational beliefs were formed over centuries of not having YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and so suddenly when you introduce crazy powerful tools like that to the equation of human existence and human interaction, shit gets complicated.
Well, yeah, but that's what happened with the printing press, right? When the Catholic Church for the longest time controlled, Latin and books and reading, so that only they could interpret, the Word of God. That changed everything, right?
Yeah.
I think the same thing for the internet. I think. But the age of people keeping things in the dark is soon coming to an end.
It does make you wonder, though. I do think society tends to lean liberal because, you would think just through sheer inertia, if there was enough support, like, why are all of these big companies, why do they all lean liberal on so many issues? And I think... it's interesting.
Because of numbers and money. It may work in the electoral college, where the numbers don't mean everything. But that's not how it works in the business world.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think society does lean liberal, so I know it's frustrating for a lot of conservative folk that so many of these big companies tend to lean.
But I don't think liberals necessarily got the wrong point of view. I definitely think that a world without guns is a great world. I honestly believe that. But I also know how absolutely evil people are.
Yeah.
So, just turn on the news. You don't need to go far to find it. I guess that's my So if the world became a completely liberal society where we didn't have violence and we didn't have, races and, maybe that's the direction we're going, mankind, but I won't be there. I'll be of the lost generation, so.
Yep. At the end of the day, though, I just try not to complain. I try not to complain too much because, man, what is there to really complain about?
There's a lot to fucking complain about.
Yeah, but if you think about my day-to-day life and my body, the input-output system that interacts with me on a daily basis.
Oh, okay.
I'm
First world problems. Gotcha.
Hey, it's sometimes you have to, you have to do some little psychological tricks to give yourself some happiness and make it so you can get through every day. And we're able to,
give myself psychological tricks to get myself through watching fucking Fox News every day.
Yeah, well, don't watch Fox News.
Well, any news platform. I mean, they're all kind of garbage. I don't know. I like NPR.
Yeah. Anyways, we don't. Ugh.
Sorry. I know you don't like talking politics, but I think it's interesting, especially if you can do it, in a non-confrontational way.
Yeah.
And I don't like talking politics, but today was a little bit different.
Yeah.
So this is something that I thought I was going to be affected by, so I was hopping and hollering. And I think people should, though. Like, if you were hopping and hollering, dude, and you said, fuck this shit, and fuck those guys, and, I'm never dealing with Comcast again because they have shitty internet, I'd boycott Comcast with you. Or Cox, sorry, with Cox.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this net neutrality repeal ends up panning out.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting.
The whole problem with it and why I think we really needed it is that the markets have already been sliced up in a way that there usually isn't direct competition. So
right.
These companies basically have a monopoly in all of the areas and are able to implement the worst kind of business practices.
And they already do.
Yeah, and it's already bad enough. It's like, why was anyone fooled by the argument that we need to give them unrestricted, oh man, I don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you could argue that the internet is a public utility and everybody needs it.
You have to have it. I mean, there's not a single job that I can go to that I'd be like, oh, hi, I'm here to fill out a job application. Will not happen.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm gonna die. I need your help. Oh shit, I'm gonna die.
Don't worry, I will save you, Matthew. Get away from him, he will spike you.
Oh no.
Got him.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry I didn't have a sword on hand, and that fucker got me down to about 3 hearts before I had to realize I couldn't get out.
That's okay. Okay, let's see this.
So what did you guys end up doing Saturday?
We worked on the Ocean Monument the entire time on the nursing home. So I'm doing Ocean Monument here and nursing home. But I just so badly want to get these aquamarine or prismarine farms going. I don't know why I said aquamarine.
Because you did it in the other server, or because of the new patch, or you just want to play with the colors? More glass?
Yeah, no, and the sea lanterns. This is how we get an unlimited source of sea lanterns, and I really like them as a light source for certain things.
Okay. Well, let's do it.
And it's cool, man. Look at what we're fucking doing. We're draining an ocean. How can you not get a boner over that,
Yeah.
you son of a bitch?
This is definitely a Minecraft first for me.
I know, same here.
Emptying an
Man.
ocean monument.
And we got a good little technique going on here.
I definitely like the shadow patterns on the wall. That's pretty cool. How it looks like a teeth. You see that? Over here against the wall. and the different light sources, the patterns.
Oh yeah. Damn, man, looking good. I've literally been working this whole time. I haven't stopped. Even though we've been talking, it's just such a mindless activity that I've been able to stay 100% focused.
Yes, and again, sorry to anybody out there that just came to watch Minecraft. You guys got to listen to my occasional drunken ramblings.
That's okay, man. Don't apologize.
Hmm.
As long all that I ask is that people treat. I would, generally speaking, I don't think it's good for my channel to have a whole lot of political talk, but I mean, we pretty much never do, so whatever. If it's just me and you, and we just want to shoot the shit about this stuff.
Yeah,
whatever,
this is my server, so when I log on, and I'm gonna talk about whatever the fuck I'm gonna talk about.
And as long, again, as long as you treat these subjects with respect, and
right,
you aren't spouting horribly bad
don't offend
views.
anybody. Well, I guess that's kind of hard because everybody, I guess, could be offended, but cross the line, I guess the obvious line.
Oh, Sierra.
What's Sierra say?
This server is both of our server. He said, "Doesn't Zeus run the server? Tongue sticking out?"
Yeah, he does. He does.
But,
It is his server. And honestly, if he asked me to, like, calm it down or whatever, I would out of respect.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really an issue as long as,
But we've been doing this
Yeah,
for
it's
5
respectful.
years or however long, and you guys are a new part of that, even though it's been almost a year now. So, if I can't get online and play Minecraft with my friend and say whatever the fuck I want, then the world is truly a horrible dead place to me.
well, we love Minecraft. We'll just end on that note. Minecraft, it's awesome. Breaks down
Minecraft
boundaries, it
is
solves
awesome.
the world's political problems. It's quite a good game.
Yeah, Minecraft's not judgmental, and it's very successful.
Oh, and thank you, Doc Sauce. Doc Sauce says, but your political talk is very productive. Each of you are receptive to the other's views. Very balanced talk.
You know what? Cheers, Doc.
And
I
Rasinka,
think
take it easy. Sorry if our ramblings have been frustrating to anybody. I mean, sorry to a point. I'm sorry that I created bad entertainment. If I created bad entertainment,
no, it's
That's
not
the
you,
only-
it's me.
that would be my only apology.
I'm not very entertaining, especially over the headset. In person, I'm fucking hysterical, but yeah.
You know what I would like to... This is what I would like to see make a comeback. Is the private conversation between friends in a private forum where, you can talk honestly without worrying about your views being on a public platform and others, I think
Or
that's
like
part
IRC.
of... No, not that, but just like in this age of like social media, all of these debates and things happen on these public platforms now. And so it creates a really unhealthy environment where everybody that holds these views very deeply, they tend to drown out any productive conversation with cries of, they just can't handle that shit, and everybody from every side, takes it to extremes and gets pissed off, and so all that productive conversation just quickly goes off the rails.
Yeah, well,
whereas
I
I
mean,
think
here
before you had the internet, I think it was more likely that two people with opposing political views could just, be over at each other's house drinking beers and maybe have this conversation, and there'd be so much less pride involved because you could just talk as, friends with a personal conversation that there's no stakes and there's nobody listening in. And
Well, I think it's more than that. I think the art of arguing is slowly, if not quickly, disappearing.
that's
Like,
you're saying the same thing I am. People should be able
holding...
to just have these conversations.
But yeah, I mean, but the art of actually having a debate is like gone. Like I watched the presidential debates and I realized that like our method of holding arguments of any type is gone. Like Americans anyway. I don't know about the rest of the world.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I gotta give Kodo major props. Kodo just cheered 1,000 bits. That is $10. Thank you so much, Kodo. And he's got some valuable input into this conversation. So he says, well, to be honest...
Yeah, I want to hear it.
To be honest, I don't understand the extreme PC culture, as if you don't have conversations that offend you, how are you to learn and grow as a person if you don't talk about sensitive conversations? People who 500 bits and have tantrums rather than explain and converse in a calm and rational manner. 500 bits. What? You lost me there a little bit at the end, but I'm not complaining.
I might be one of those people that have irrational conversations. I don't know if that's what you're referencing.
No, but it goes back to why I don't understand why everybody thinks that you can only have these conversations now on social media. Like, there's a time and a place for various conversations, and not all conversations are meant to be had on a giant public platform that everybody can chime in on. And then that becomes the normal for everyone. And so they confuse that kind of discourse with how actual interpersonal discourse works. And you end up in situations where people in public places, face to face, are super dismissive and shitty towards people with other views because they've been conditioned through countless Facebook arguments that that's how you respond to people with different political views.
That is a very good perception, I think. I think everybody has been given a bullhorn, and that's how they expect arguments to go when they don't have somebody in their face. I think that's a very...
Well, people literally don't understand that. I think they're just so plugged in all the time that... I mean, think about the different environments people grow up in. Think about your 18-year-old kid that grew up in the Deep South, and, you know, the only influences he had in his life were his 5 racist uncles and, you know, whatever other just similar, you know, and those people had the same upbringing that he's gonna have. And, you know, and, you know, everybody lives in their own little echo chambers, and I think people forget that some people with, you know, views that a lot of people would find problematic, they literally, it's not even a concept in their head that they're being problematic, because that's just in the world they live in. That's just the way you normally view the world. And so you got to have a little bit of sympathy for that. I mean, to a point, you know, at a certain point, everyone's a grown adult, and you should be able to tell right from wrong. But I think some people just go overboard, and they take, you know, problematic behavior that isn't like super catastrophically bad, and they take that as a signifier that this must be a truly deeply shitty person, and, you know, they, you know, just wish the most horrible things upon them.
Yeah, I can't remember who just cheered you again. What was his name or her name?
Kodo.
Kodo, yeah. Hey, big props, Kodo. I definitely agree 100%. The art of having civil conversation is slowly dying, and that's why I don't really have a problem talking about it on here. And honestly, I think, you know, talking about shit like this on Discord is great, because you get people from all over the globe that can chime in. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. You know, you can kind of see how things are done in other countries and other parts of the world, or different opinions, I think, are important.
Yeah. And I think everybody has the right to have the way they talk in private and the way they talk in a public venue. There are probably things that I would say to my wife and say to you, Matt, in private that I wouldn't say on this stream, because I just know that, you know, I don't think I'm necessarily being immoral or wrong, but I just recognize it's a sensitive enough topic that I have no business putting that out there with people that, you know, that I'm at risk of, like, actually hurting. I don't want to hurt people, man. I want to get along with people, and I don't want to make their day worse.
I know I offend people from time to time, quite often actually, and I apologize afterward. I don't truly tend to offend people. You know, that's never, you know, that would defeat every argument I've had today. Yeah, you know, being offensive. But I definitely think, you know, you're absolutely right. Like, we should be able to log on and just have these kinds of conversations, and it sounds like the people on Twitch don't mind it as long as we keep it civil.
Yeah. Well, and that they're probably few and far between. Because we've pretty much solved all the world's problems tonight, anyways. So I don't think we have much. We're not gonna have much left.
Yeah, it's not hard. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Get along with people. You'll be fine.
And
like, I honestly think that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just nice.
Yeah, just don't be a dick. It's not that hard. If you're nice to everybody, everybody will get along. I don't know if anybody here watches Dark Mirror. I'm gonna segue into
Black Mirror.
It's another subject. Yeah, Black Mirror. Sorry. But there was one recently that I got a kick out of, and it actually caused my wife to delete her Facebook. Now, I want to emphasize this with saying my wife used to have, or still has her own business where she ran social media for other companies. So to get my wife to delete her Facebook is actually pretty big. But the episode of Black Mirror I'm thinking of is when you go on. It was like a futuristic world where everybody rates everybody else.
What's up, Taser?
So everybody's PC to one another, right? So like everybody's like, "Hi, how you doing?" And like fake smiles and fake laughs, and they rate everybody like 4 point, whatever stars, and depending on your status, your social status would depend on perks that you get in life, where you live, the cars you rent, the people you socialize with. And it was incredibly disturbing because it's already kind of what we do. But now China, I think it was China, is introducing a new way of ranking people on social media. So if you have a poor social status, you can't take certain public transportation, I think. I'll have to find the article. But it is literally what the show Black Mirror was talking about is, people who get certain statuses can, take certain, you can't live in certain neighborhoods unless you have a certain status.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can already see bits and pieces of that. I mean, let's say you're going to get a new job. Every single company does a search on your social media profiles to see.
Here it is. It's called the Social Credit System. It's a proposed Chinese government initiative for developing a national reputation system.
Crazy, man.
Now, does that not make you sick to your stomach? Can you imagine walking around with a rating attached to your name about how PC you are?
As long as my rating is like triple A D plus extreme, I think that would be a good rating.
Triple D.
I would just make it my life's work to get a rating of 69, and then I just retire.
Like
I go into retirement, retire to a beautiful nursing home.
Well, the interesting point about the Black Mirror episode at the end is, the person got tired of being PC all the time and finally hit the wall, essentially. So I think everybody hits the wall at some point in time in their life, where being PC goes out the window. But yeah. Kind of crazy, huh? Like, can you imagine a government-mandated social rating system? Like Facebook?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think your fucking credit score is?
Yeah. Tell me about it.
We're doing so much more of that already than I think we want to admit.
Oh, you're not gonna let me ride up on the same pillar as you?
No, fuck you, dude. You've got sand. Look at this! Oh my god, we're making real, actual progress.
Yeah, see, when I'm pissed off about politics, guys, watch out. I can fucking mine down a fucking mountain.
We can drain a monument. That's the bright side to political talk. Is we drain monuments like motherfuckers.
Yeah, we won't solve any actual world problems, but let me tell you, man, Minecraft is gonna get the shit worked out of it.
Yeah. This monument's butthole is gonna be so sore.
Oh man, yeah.
Give you 2 guesses why. I wonder
Yeah,
if
I
the
guess
7
I'm
degrees
kinda
of Kevin Bacon rule would apply in this rating. Who you know can affect you, or a friend of a friend.
within
like,
7 degrees.
So what if the whole rating is calibrated off of Kevin Bacon? Like Kevin Bacon is the
Kevin
absolute
Bacon
zero, the absolute zero or zenith of. Oh, dude, I love this. Yes, Kevin Bacon. That's such a bizarre phenomenon, though. I thought it was 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, not 7.
7.
I thought
7
it was
degrees.
6.
Everybody's within 7 degrees separation of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, but see, stuff like that just makes me sick to my stomach. Like, I don't want to be.
Kevin Bacon is separated from people by 7 degrees?
No. The whole, like, social rating.
Wait, please explain why this bothers you so much.
I mean, honestly,
What did Kevin Bacon do to you, man?
I got no problem with Kevin Bacon.
I know, he's alright, man. He was good in that one movie, Broken Arrow. Wait, no, that was Christian Slater.
Kevin Bacon.
And John Travolta. Kevin Bacon, he was in that other movie.
That was such a...
White Men Can't Jump?
Remember.
Wait, no, that was Woody
I
Harrelson.
can't believe you just mentioned Broken, or what is it, Broken Stealth?
Broken Arrow. I don't know why Christian
fucking stealth movie.
Christian Slater's face is what came up when I thought of him.
That was one of the dumbest movies, and I can't believe that was the first thing.
Stir of Echoes. Thank you, Doc Sauce. Hollow Man. Wasn't he in Hollow Man?
Yes.
I don't know why. That wasn't a good movie by any metric, but I liked it. I liked how he was all a hollow man. He lived up to his namesake. He was hollow and a man.
But I don't know. Like, I think we should come up with our own social rating system within the Zeus the Cat Twitchverse.
Yeah, well, we'll all just be different, like, fractions of 69. Like, I'm 1/69th. And there can only be 69 of us. That's so stupid and cheesy. I don't even know why I said that.
Yeah, I don't like your system of government.
Yeah, your 69-base system is arbitrary and functionally worthless. 69 makes for a horrible base number system. And I thought octal was a stupid number system. I thought base 8 was stupid. Man, base 69 would just be so much worse.
Oh, it's funny. I don't know why that's funny. Yeah. I honestly think that if he could, Trump would pick his own favorite number to be the new base system. That guy... Oh, he's a riot. I think I'm an anarchist. That's why I like him and hate him.
Let's let that topic be the one that we just don't even bother on, because the levels of insanity at display at totally the top
agree.
levels of our government.
Totally agree. Yep.
I can't.
I won't even argue with you on that one. There's some topics that I won't even touch. It's not abortion. It's not gun control. It's Donald Trump.
Less said. He dominates enough of the news. I don't want to give him more clicks and more mentions.
Yeah,
if names are currency in our current age of social media, I want that motherfucker to go broke.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I disconnected my television a long time ago.
Yeah. Man, I find myself, like, diving in and just like, okay, I should probably get caught up on where politics is at. And then I'm like...
No, you don't.
And then I'm just like, oh, shit.
I was very sad when Stephen Hawking died, but, you know what? That was actually kind of... I think Stephen Hawking actually, in his final moments of glory, spurred a great discussions about, physics. Because my wife and I were sitting down and we were talking about Stephen Hawking and, the book he wrote, A Brief History of Time, which was actually a really good book. So, kind of like his last hurrahs, he, took the spotlight away from asshole and then put it on science and someone who actually did some good.
Yep.
So
Yeah, me and Bridget just watched The Theory of Everything last night.
I have not seen that yet. Is it good?
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm a
I
little
think that's
bummed. I was a little bummed to hear that they took maybe a few more artistic liberties than they probably should have, but
Oh, really?
I don't know why movies needed, like, you're gonna base it on a true story. Like, why not just not
Yeah.
make up any random characters? And how about like what? Why is
Yeah,
that
keep it true
necessary?
to story. Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
They did the same. Yeah. Like another good one is I don't know if you ever seen the what was the one with Alan Turing, the Enigma effect or Enigma code or something.
No, I don't know.
If you've not seen that, it's a really good movie. But it talks about the guy who invented the Enigma machine, or the guy that could Alan Turing, the Turing machine, who broke the Enigma machine the Germans had.
Oh,
Code breaker. He invented technically the world's first computer. I think he was a statistician.
son of a bitch. So he is to blame for Facebook.
Yeah.
He who cast the first stone, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another hypocrisy I'm not going to get into. He who cast the first stone remains unsinned.
Sherlock 2300 says that a great movie, but so sad, but great movie.
It is. I actually got to see the Turing machine, the real one. It's actually on display in a museum up in Maryland. So it was pretty cool. Got to see that. Yeah, very, very sad story, but it's kind of cool when you can see those true stories and how it actually happened. Those the people, the hidden heroes, kind of like what was the movie with the women who worked at NASA? Do you remember which one that was? They were like they helped get some of the astronauts to the moon.
I forget what the movie was called.
Hidden Secrets or something like that. Hidden things.
The recent one?
Yeah, it got a couple of awards too. I thought that was pretty cool. Like
the one with the African American women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what one you're talking about. I just don't remember the name of it.
I like stories like that where you can kind of see this, like, the untold true story of how it really happened, and it's like, oh man, that is much cooler than how it actually, I don't know. I like finding out cool historic facts.
Yeah. Like that cool historic alternative fact that the moon landing never happened and it was done in a lighting stage in the New Mexico desert or something.
Yeah. I don't ever want to hear the term alternative facts or fake news again. Because, yeah.
You know what we should really be protesting is the worst crime, not fake news, but fake booze. That's...
Who's doing fake booze?
I don't know, but I think this practice should be banned. Feels like a safe stance to take. Just trying to make conversation here.
Fake booze. I don't know what fake booze is, though.
It's, it's a play on words, sort of, because fake news, booze rhymes with news, and that's
well, if we're going to talk politics...
That's really the depth of my horribly stated turd garbage that came out of my mouth.
I think we should legalize some non-addictive drugs like marijuana. My personal opinion.
Controversial statement, Matt.
Very, no, right? Considering that we're in a state where it's completely legal. But you know what's very interesting, and I think you would find this very interesting too. Most of the people out here are actually Christian. In fact, there's more Christian universities per capita where I live than anywhere else in the world.
Let's see. Kodo says, well, the first programmers were women during World War II who calculated projectile trajectories. See, that's
Really?
awesome.
See, I didn't know that. Like, if they ever did a movie, I don't want them to sensationalize it. I want them to tell the true story of these women.
It's because our
That's really
historians were just so proud of their giant testicles, and they were like, we can't possibly flood our history books with all this estrogen. We have to... It's all about the balls.
Yeah.
And so,
I think history
so we hear all
should
about
be
Winston Churchill,
history
don't-
should be preserved.
and Betsy Ross is relegated to, you know, a children's book. It's bullshit.
I don't know. I think the internet is still in its infancy and will be for a long time.
Yeah.
So, kind of like when the book first came out, right?
Yeah,
Shit just went crazy.
Oh,
The
oh,
printing press.
Yeah, right.
So,
Remember that time Betsy Ross helped us defeat the Germans in World War II?
no, I was never there.
Remember?
But man, I gotta say, like, I really enjoy going back and hearing stories about World War II veterans or families that, like, stopped everything they were doing to make bullets and go fight in a war. Like the ship that was recently found with the five brothers on it, they were all killed on the same boat. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I think those kind of
Betty
true stories are pretty cool.
Yeah. Alright, I got 7 more sponges. Let's see how much of this I can do.
Never mind, I don't want to get off politics. Let's see what else. I tried Monster Hunter World. I'm gonna get back on video games now. I
How
tried
is it?
Monster Hunter World. I didn't like it.
Really? I
I can
I've-
see the appeal, but it's just another Minecraft style game, and I'm getting real tired of build, where you go collect a resource to craft that resource into something else to make more resources. Like,
yeah.
it.
Well, I get
it's a
my fix.
collecting
I
game.
do get my fix of that from this game.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play like real-time strategy, role-playing games, turn-based, city builders, simulation games. I don't want to farm.
Wait, did you say Monster Hunter World?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know it had all of those types of mechanics. But then again, I haven't read,
so
read a
you
whole
go
lot about it.
you kill monsters, you track monsters, hunt them down, and use their body parts to make better weapons to kill more monsters.
Sounds very savage.
It's apparently a series, so I guess it's got a lot of following overseas. That's why it's real big. I was not a fan, but to each their own.
Monster Hunter, the main focus is, funnily enough, hunting monsters, says Kodo.
Yeah, go figure. Who would have thunk? I don't know. I always try to give a game a fair shake. At least once. Go out and try it before knocking it. Except for No Man's Sky, which I'm really glad I didn't buy.
Well, by all accounts, I've heard it actually has gotten to be a pretty decent game since, they've had more time to issue more updates and everything.
Yeah, that's too bad. I'm sure a lot of people put a lot of hard work and effort into that, and
Yeah.
so
It is a
got
bummer
greedy.
that didn't live up to the insane expectations everyone had.
Yeah,
Which, fair enough. I mean, the footage they showed, some of those were fair expectations. Bully Gamer Pro says, you are bad at this game. Oh man, we've got a tough guy in here.
bad at this game. What do we do?
It's
Or
a
are we just
tough
talking
guy.
about?
I bet Bully Gamer Pro probably has a tattoo of an anvil on his bicep. And then a tattoo of a samurai sword on his other bicep.
Did he say you're bad at Minecraft? I don't know how someone can be
Yeah,
bad
he
at
says I'm bad at Minecraft. He's trying to, I'm waiting for his next response because I'm sure it's going to just be
Is that like the new tough guy talk in today's PC society?
Yeah.
You don't know how to Minecraft correctly.
Well, it's like a gateway drug to the next thing he's gonna say, and it'll slowly escalate, and then we're gonna ban him. And
I don't know. I have faith. I think this one's going to be different.
well, let's see. Faith rewarded. He says, "Hey, hey, joking. Keep it going. Just play at servers."
Ha. Boom. Called it. See?
I'm serious. Usually, the next post has the N-word in it, and
Yeah, he's not joking. We've banned so many people, it's ridiculous, but... See, tonight's actually turned out to be a pretty good night.
it has.
And you actually got quite a good cheer, too, for tonight's...
that was really cool of Kodo.
Yeah. Mad props, thank you. I mean, it's not like, we're breaking the bank or anything, but I think small gestures of support go a long way.
Yeah. Gives me the warm fuzzy fuzzies, and
Yeah.
I definitely have purchased a number of stream-related things to try to make this stream a little bit better, so... It is getting used for good purposes.
Yeah, tonight was definitely an exception. But if you guys ever want to get me talking on Twitch, you just give me to get the whiskey out and we'll talk.
Well, we'll just save these conversations for just me and you, and I think
Yeah, but the only time we talk is when we're on fucking Minecraft.
No,
Like,
I know.
That's the other thing.
No, I'm saying just not on like the nursing home or the community server, because as much as I love everybody, and I do, Kodo just cheered another 500 bits. Oh my god, Kodo, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Kodo.
At a certain point, it becomes that whole social media problem where too many people with too many different points of view and people likely to get really it's just a bad recipe, and it's a situation to avoid. But,
and I wasn't even going to talk about it today. I was going to talk to you offline, but I thought it would be, I don't know, it'd be a good mix-up of a conversation, and I think, you got folks from all over the world who watch your Twitch stream, so it might be a good platform to have a discussion. It sounds like Kodo was...
Every now and again, I don't know. I don't go around openly, like, at least not on this platform. I don't know. I don't really go around aggressively promoting my political point of view. But when the situation's right, I'm not afraid to put my opinions out there and defend them, and, just be chill about it.
Yeah, that's a key word, be chill. But yeah, so just for everyone out there, I think if you have not, find a good friend that you can just talk mindless bullshit shit with and be cool about it, and yeah, stay in contact. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you're in my bringing ups, and how we have very different opinions on politics, but have stayed civil through everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your upbringing was a lot different than mine, and
Yeah.
I think our political views are strongly shaped by just
Environment.
who you were around growing up and what what beliefs you were exposed to, and there's a fair amount of figuring shit out for yourself, and I can see why so many different people arrive at so many different points of view.
Oh, yeah.
But the modern, going back to just modern discourse on the internet, everything is very polarized and black and white, and you take any number of stances and you will get painted, that will basically get boiled down to, you have that stance, you are, a Republican piece of trash. Across the board, there's no nuance to your character whatsoever. Your entire being is predicated on this one opinion, and that's how so much discourse flows.
Yeah.
When in reality, I think everybody has a different mix of opinions, but if you went by the internet at large, you would think anyone that believes anything falls very cleanly into one camp or the other.
Yeah.
And Bully Gamer
Very
Pro, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think video games is a great medium. We've always been able to just kind of come on here and, you know, talk and not be judged. So,
Yep. And I'm accomplishing
cool
exactly what I wanted getting on it. I was just hoping to get some work done on this ocean monument, and some work done we have gotten.
yeah, and thanks to everybody out there on Twitch channel that's joining the conversation tonight. Man, there's a lot of YouTube personalities I would not want here in this conversation. It's like, oh man.
Well, most people, sadly, are just not. I don't know. They aren't aware that every situation is complicated and nothing has a clear-cut black and white answer.
It doesn't.
But
It's
everyone
so-
expects simple answers to complex problems, like all of our problems with race and social justice and everything, and there are just these. Here's this rule book, and if we just do all of this, everything's solved. But oh my god, not that easy.
It sucks though because you can't talk about it at work, right? Like it's one of those things that you do not talk about politics, religion, sex, like, you know, big no-no, because you can get yourself in so much hot water so fast. So
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe that's why people listen to those crazy talk show hosts like I can't think of any names, but you know, because they have. I mean, obviously they have similar opinions, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna
Oh, there's all the sand. I wonder where the fucking sand's been going.
my butthole.
Well, I just went deep in your butthole and pulled it all out.
Sweet. So yeah, I looked up you know, just the whole Guardian grinding mechanism and how it works, and we basically will just need to build a giant fish tank with a lava blade under it and use a bunch of like signs and stuff to
Signs?
yeah, to hold the water back and get the lava to
Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
what?
Signs? I saw the sign.
Oh. And it opened up.
Anybody?
You know, when I worked at Applebee's, every time I saw a dime on the ground, I would sing to myself, I found a dime, and it opened up my eyes. I found a dime.
What I love about you
Life
is
is
these great
demanding.
little stories that nobody needs to know, that are so intimately personal, that are fucking hysterical.
I saw the sign, and I opened up my eyes. Oh, found a dime. Sorry, I went into the real song. I got so into my performance.
Oh man, I could totally see you standing in a corner at Applebee's, just kind of like dancing back and forth. I found a dime.
I know. Back when a dime actually got you something. In my day!
I vote we get rid of the penny.
Yeah, fuck the penny. Well, like, who are these assholes that are like fighting tooth and nail to keep the fucking penny around?
Well, because everything will be rounded up to the nickel.
Yeah. I guess you can go find some reason to bitch about it if you really want to.
Why not? We've already bitched about everything else there's to bitch about.
Why
Like,
is
we
this supposed
really
to-
are the most spoiled generation, I think, of any generation.
No, I think
Would you agree or no?
technically we are millennials.
Are we really?
Yeah, we are. So sadly, sorry, millennials.
Really?
Well, I mean,
Wow,
sorry to
we
myself.
painted a broad brush for that fucking
Yeah,
age group.
generations. It turns out they go a lot longer than you think. So we're not Gen Xers, and we're certainly not baby boomers. So yeah, we're millennials. And then what's the current gen right now? Is it Generation Y or like for Y2K?
Oh, no.
Generation Generation
That
Tide
is something
Pod.
we should totally bring back. Like, I remember Y2K.
Yeah. Y2K nostalgia, and everyone thought the world's computers were so smart that they were all gonna shut off at the year 2000 because they only used 2 digits for the date, and computers were smart enough to be like, oh my god, it's 1900, I shouldn't exist. Like, what?
Well, they were afraid like power plants were gonna shut off, nuclear
Oh, I
weapons
know.
were gonna go off.
I'm not painting the situation totally fairly, but
For everybody out there, like, just so you guys know, I actually was patrolling a generator with a gun, and we actually had a storeroom full of boxed food. That's how crazy my guardians were. They actually thought that it was going to be like an apocalyptic.
and it was all because
like,
some asshole wrote a science fiction book about it and everyone took it seriously. The guy should be tried for crimes against humanity.
Oh man, that was one of the greatest. Like, everyone thought it was going to be the second coming of Jesus and the end of the Armageddon, and oh my God.
Those are the fun people. The people who are searching through the Bible for patterns, and every year there's some date that some religious sect has decided is the date. That's when it's gonna
I
happen.
know.
2012 was a fun year because I think everyone had a date in 2012. But every single year, there's a new date, and some weird religious cult that's like, oh my god, if you really analyze the scripts, the world's gonna end on this date, and let's all sell our possessions. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what people, like, how you live with yourself after that. It's
Well,
like,
I know. I wish they
sell
do more
everything.
retrospect, because the news always parades these jackasses around like, do a fucking follow-up story. God damn. Like, that's the news story we all want to see is, can we all do the story where we all point and laugh at them? Just
Like,
please.
Yeah. I remember the guy who they found on the Japanese island. He was like 80 years old, who still thought that he was at war with America. Like, he found him like 20 years ago or something. He
And
was
his
some
only
super old.
companion was a volleyball with a
Yeah.
palm leaf wedged into
I
it.
don't remember. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Demon of Night?
But it's like someone who's like, like you are so wrong about probably the most important fact in human history. How do you like take yourself seriously now?
Yeah.
I guess habitual liars, I guess, have no problem lying to the public and calling it fake news.
Oh man, I've had a few friends growing up that were pathological liars. It always blew my fucking mind because for a while, like when you first get to know somebody and you don't know they're a pathological liar, like they seem like just very interesting people. It's like, wow, like what kind of experiences is this person having to like have a very pertinent story for every single thing, and then you realize they're a pathological liar, and then it gets even weirder because when you're aware of it, like every conversation you have is just cringeworthy and just you just see them lying to you like literally for no reason about everything, and it's just so sad, and you wonder what kind of a mental disease is that just causes someone to just lie, virulently lie.
I think it's a need for recognition, right? Like they want to be liked, and they want to be, held in some different light. So they're going to paint a different story about themselves, right? That's why most people lie.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe they were hitting on you.
Some of the people that I've known that were pathological liars, it was just the most trivial, like mundane shit too. It wasn't like it wasn't that they saved it wasn't that they saved their lives for only like life-changing critical things. It was like literally I had a conversation with a friend, and we used to watch professional wrestling. And he's just like, hey, did you see the match the other night? And I was like, no. And he goes and he tells me this crazy story about what happened. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, actually, I did see that. And that totally didn't happen. And he just smiled at me, just like, like he was caught. He didn't, like, it was such a ridiculous lie. I'll never forget it. He just like smiled at me because there's no way he's like explaining away the level of detail that he just shared with me on this totally mundane shit.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe he's doing it to be malicious. Maybe it just...
No, they
Yeah,
never
I don't
do.
know.
I never get the sense that they're being malicious about it. I think it literally is just a mental illness. They have some very maybe big issues with insecurity or something, and they need, yeah, like you said, you know, I think they just need that validation and that people think they're interesting and cool.
Most of the some of the most humble people I've ever met are pretty badass individuals. I mean, very badass, but they don't flaunt it. And people who flaunt it are just jokes. Not always the case, but most of the time.
What do you think
I think-
about Keanu Reeves?
You know, I don't know. I don't like his acting. I think as an individual, he seems like an okay person. I saw on a social media platform that he has a charity that he doesn't attach his name to, that he donates quite a bit of money to, and he doesn't want to be so tied to by name to this organization because he just wants it to, you know, be a charity, and you know.
I will
So
tell
I
you,
think people who
there's a lot more. Keanu Reeves is an example of how all human beings should be. Like, there are just
Okay.
countless stories of him being just this incredibly gracious person. Did you know he donated... Alright, someone's going to have to look up the actual number, but I thought it was all of his earnings, or a significant portion of his earnings from The Matrix, or from, like, the screenings of The Matrix or something, and he gave it to his stunt crew because they worked so hard and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's like some huge amount of money that he just paid forward to them because he thought that they deserved a lot more than they were getting paid for what they were doing.
See, it's only when somebody does something that, and then their name is not tied to it, and they're not doing it for themselves, is it truly altruistic? I mean, that's incredibly hard to do, but I think he's a prime example of somebody who doesn't look for attention in the good things he's done. He just does them because he wants to.
Yeah.
And I think that is, by definition, what a good person is somebody who does it because it's a good thing to do, not because it makes them feel good or, you know.
Well, plus, he made John Wick, and John Wick is fucking awesome.
I will give you that. John Wick is pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, any problem you have with his acting, if any actor that has put out a gem like that deserves some immunity from blanket criticism.
I don't know. It depends what the criticism is.
Blanket. I'm saying, like, you got to admit that.
Okay.
I think you especially probably could appreciate it because I guess the gunplay in John Wick and the level of training and the level of detail they put into those scenes, like, everything
as
is
I saw
accurate, completely accurate to how
I know
those weapons operate.
I was watching it and I would stop it and rewind it. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You see that? That's actual, like, combat tactics." I really like John Wick. There was a lot. I mean, he's very Hollywooded up. You would definitely be dead long before that dude, but it was pretty badass.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they took a few artistic liberties.
Yeah, just a few, but
just
it
a
was
few.
it was this really cool world of this, like, hidden shadow mercenary organization.
It was everything
where,
that an action movie needs to be.
Yeah, where he is the boogeyman, right? I mean, I just think that's it was the whole thing was just another one I really want to see is Bruce Willis. I can't remember the name of it now.
Bruce Willis. That's the name of it.
Yeah,
it's just Bruce Willis.
Like some guys like kill his wife or something like that, and he's a cop, and I guess the cops don't do enough about it, so he like takes it on his he basically gets revenge on all these assholes.
So he Liam Neeson's them.
He totally goes full Taken, but Bruce Willis hardcore violent. Yeah.
In a way that only he or Liam Neeson could pull off.
Yeah.
And the only reason that Liam Neeson's not in the movie is they couldn't get Liam Neeson because he was busy making Taken.
So I don't get it. What's the difference? So I guess that's a good question. With the whole violence in the video games and movie. I mean, those are some pretty fucking violent.
Oh no, people that blame video games for these acts of violence and only video games are out of their goddamn minds. Like, look at some of the movies that are out there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I make it a point to watch the most horrific videos I possibly can just to see what the limits of human boundaries are, and they are limitless. Let me tell you.
Yeah, have you ever seen Sin City?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
It's a good movie. It's got really, really graphic violence.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
Sin City?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty graphic.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, I think Sin City was more graphic than Kill Bill.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember the scene in Kill Bill 2 with all the 100, what are the 99, whatever.
No, that was the first one.
That was the second one.
No, that was
the fight scene in the
Crazy 88.
in the dojo?
It was the Crazy 88?
No, it was the second one.
First one.
Crazy 88 was the second one.
First one.
Was it?
She fights O-Ren Ishii after that.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Trust me.
I do.
And then she has the battle
awesome
in the snow.
Movie.
Snow battle.
Right, yeah. But I definitely like, those John Wick style movies where he's just this. But I like Keanu Reeves as an individual. Like I said, I like him because he does things not for Keanu Reeves. He does things for other people because I think he's a good guy.
You're telling me
his
that
acting's terrible.
You don't like Speed?
No.
Yeah.
I think
Speed actually is
Keanu
not
Reeves,
a very good movie.
The only thing I like about that is the sweater that What's-Her-Face wears. It's a University of Arizona sweater.
You know what's a fucking fantastic movie that he's a great actor in is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I will agree with you there. That's about it. And John Wick, he did a really good job with.
I mean, you got to admit, the first Matrix movie, his acting was good in that. I think he played the character as the character needed to be played. Yep. I think he's just limited in the types of roles, and so it's easy to miss with him because
he's very monotone.
Yeah, I think he excels at a very specific type of acting. Hey, what's up, Nimblebiter?
Hey, Nimble. Yeah, I like I said, Matrix was good. Bill and Ted obviously is a classic. The Day That Earth Stood Still was probably the worst film ever created.
I don't think I've seen it because it looks really bad.
It's terrible. It's worse than what you've seen. What other movies has he been in?
Speed.
A lot. Yeah.
Wasn't he in Demolition Man? Or no.
No,
I'm
that
thinking
was
of Chain Reaction. He's in Chain Reaction.
Yeah, Chain Reaction. Demolition Man was.
And then he's
Wesley
in a bunch of
Snipes.
chick flicks. Isn't he in Hope Floats or something? And then he's in The Lake House with Sandra Bullock. And
okay. Yeah.
These are important
here.
moments in cinema. Matt, don't judge.
Let me clarify my position here. I don't like Keanu Reeves as an actor, and I definitely don't like chick flicks. I definitely as fuck would not see Reese.
Come on, man. I mean, don't two wrongs sometimes make a right?
Never, never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Not in this scenario, anyway.
And no, we have not nearly finished the Ocean Monument. We're not even halfway done yet. But we've made fantastic progress tonight. No doubt.
Yeah, so we're... So what's the end state here? Are we just going to keep the sand walls up, or are we going to drain water around the Ocean Monument and give it like a... the water like a sloping effect, or what?
I don't know. I maybe put a giant glass wall around this whole thing, because glass?
I mean, technically we could just break the sand and it would only flow one block out, right? Like it would technically just be a giant square pit in the ground, because it doesn't work like real water.
Something like that, yeah.
Because if we open up, like if I tore down this whole wall right now, they would only flow one
Well, don't
block
do it
out,
though,
right?
because that would create an area of water where those assholes
Right, I'm
could
not
spawn.
going to, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
in theory.
I think for now we leave the sand up. And
Okay.
if we want, maybe we put a giant glass wall around it. Or
Man, you and your fucking glass. You just can't do one building without glass.
no. You're free to build with whatever you want, but if I'm building, I'm using glass. You could build it out of brick. I know that's what you like.
Oh, Jesus Christ, never again. Although, it'll probably be easier out here than the way we did it before. Because we got lots of water here.
That's why they call you Brick Richards. Brick Richardson the third.
Oh, man. I can't remember what we were talking about today, but we were... my wife was... Connie's looking at Reddit, and she saw this Pickle Rick knockoff from Rick and Morty, and it's Pickle Richard instead of Pickle Rick. I don't know why, it just reminded me of that.
Well,
Cheap Rick and Morty knockoff.
May 16th, I think, is when the Blu-ray comes out, and I'll finally be able to watch season 3.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for you to get caught up. Then we can have something to talk about.
Yes. I've been watching some anime lately too, but I don't bring that up much because I don't know how much people are into anime.
Yeah. When does the new Attack on Titan come out?
Well, season 2 is out. I actually have it. I want to rewatch season 1 just to rewatch it.
Okay, so
and then go
season
into
2 just
2.
came out? Oh, God!
What was that?
That was a creeper.
Where did he spawn from?
The very
top.
single block on the top.
What did he blow up?
I just shit my pants.
Did he blow up the Ocean Monument at all?
No, he jumped from the top of the wall. Yes, he actually did blow up some of the Ocean Monument.
No!
Yeah. Sorry. The dude came from nowhere.
We must fix it.
Oh my god, that scared the Christ out of me.
And hello, Ukraine. Person from Ukraine. Ukraine 24 from.
God, I was not expecting a creeper to spawn there. What the hell?
Neither was I. Yeah, I was very surprised to hear an explosion.
Yeah, dude. I turn around and there's a green face staring at me, and he just fucking lit up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I think I woke my wife up. I might have wife aggro.
Yeah, I was just gonna say aggro. You might need to kite her, Matt.
More nuts! More
Matt,
nuts!
kite her back into the bedroom quick.
Quick, taunt her! You look rather fat today, babe.
Oh god, no.
I've got aggro!
Cast ice block, ice block.
Feed death! Feed death!
Oh shit.
Oh god. Oh, too funny. I remember this one time we were doing a raid, and wow, and we were playing a little game with Ice Crown, and I took a shot every time someone died. I didn't make it to the ship battle before was super fucked up. So when we got to Sour Fang, it was pretty much over.
Oh man. Hey, what's up, Birdstar? Thank you for 10 bits. Woo!
You made quite a bit of money tonight.
Yeah.
So now you know. You just have to stop playing Minecraft and start getting on a political rant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna quit my job now.
Just...
By my calculations, I am making minimum wage back when minimum wage was like whatever it was in the 1800s.
I was gonna say.
Not bad.
You can pull a Rush Limbaugh. Get your own Talk News channel. Yeah.
And I will call myself Flush Flimbaugh. It could be a sick parody of Rush Limbaugh. I'll offer only the best political commentary as Flush Flimbaugh. Alright, so where did this bastard explode?
Right over here. Oh, you mother.
Wait, where did this hole come from?
Getting shot at. Yeah, so there's a hole down there. I'd have to jump down. Hang on. Where are you?
I'm over here.
Okay, so it's down.
Is it just these couple blocks over here on the edge?
Yes. Yep.
Right here?
No, they were down below though.
Yeah, I see two empty blocks right below me here. Is that it? Just those two?
Yep. I think so. I think there might have been a couple more, but
okay, let's see if we have any.
That's where he blew up right there.
I want to keep this thing pristine. I think. Well, do we want to keep this structure in place and build the farm inside of it?
Yeah, I like the structure. Okay. That's what the whole point of doing all this crap was.
That's what I thought too. Just wanted to make sure we were.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. If we're doing this for no reason, I'd be pissed.
Well, depends on. I mean, we're playing video games, Matt. None of this is for any reason ever.
My own enjoyment.
It's all an illusion.
Is it also you can make minimum wage? Well, screw you!
Minimum wage in 1875.
I don't think the money has anything to do with it. I think it was just more of the gesture that it means.
Yeah, that middle finger. Something like that.
Okay, I have un heart left, and I need food. Do you have food? I have food.
I only have 8 steaks, so I'm gonna need more food soon. But I think we have some cooked fish there, right?
I think so.
And yeah, dial up, David. Dial up, David. Sorry, I like that. This is a closed server. This is me and Matt's private server.
Wow, dial up.
Never forget the modem beeping, buzzing, whatever. Sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah. I really want to get that as my ringtone. Alright, I'm gonna step away for just a second and get some more alcohol, and maybe we can talk about some other charged topics, like Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably not going to be on for much longer. It's already getting close to 12:30, and I got work tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to stream again tomorrow night. I literally just... This was just happened to be a good night to stream, and I still am hoping to get my normal Tuesday night stream in, too.
Tuesday night? I thought you only did Thursday night.
I usually do one or the other. Like,
oh, okay. Well, I'll be right back. I need to get some more alcohol.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Try and do what Cubfan did on Hermitcraft, where he took the whole ocean monument and brought it up to sea level. In survival, no pistons? Oh, no way. I'm not doing that. I think he used the schematics mod where you can load presets of buildings that can be shown transparent like a hologram of what you want to build in Minecraft. Okay. Well, that would certainly be helpful. Man, I need some torches for up here. Alright, let's go see if I have any coal or wood over here.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Is it weird that I am like wide awake and like full of energy?
No, not necessarily.
I'm trying a sleeping medication that Connie suggested, and I don't think it's working, or I think it's having the opposite effect.
Yeah.
I know some people, like with Benadryl, does the opposite of makes them tired.
Yeah. I never need any of that kind of stuff. I just, my head hits the pillow, I'm usually asleep a few minutes later. Usually. I mean, every now and again I have the night where I'm stricken with insomnia. This is so badass. I can't believe how much progress we made. And what's great is we're going to have all this sand to turn around and smelt into glass when we're done. Like all
Yeah, it only took us a
all
day.
these inner walls.
It only took us a day in Minecraft to collect all the sand.
Yeah. Well, and now that we know we can just do the rest of this in segments, we don't need to go collect any more sand at all. We just need to keep digging up these pillars as we finish segments.
So another game I've been playing a lot of is RimWorld. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of Rim.
Pretty good game. Definitely enjoyed it. They've been making. I've actually been playing it since the pre-release or alpha, I guess you call it, whatever. Like when it was first started. So it was really cool to kind of see the whole early access through to production. But yeah, I don't know.
Yep, I think I've generally heard pretty good things about that game. Asshole! Lillian, what am I building? I am building nothing. We're draining an ocean monument. This is all temporary, just to get this piece of crap drained. Let's see. Little by little, we're getting it done. And very cool to see how much we're able to get done in one night. So yeah, I think this is kind of the thing that I want to just work on and get finished before continuing anything else, because all the glass I'm going to be able to make from this sand, I'd rather than go collect other sand to work on that stuff, I'd rather just finish this and then go use this sand to make glass. I'm getting good at this fucking sponge thing, man.
Oh, good. Are you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I've been trying to talk to you and I haven't heard anything.
This is the first I've heard anything from you.
Oh. Maybe I've been pushing the wrong button then.
I've just been basking in the silence as I eat sponges.
I thought maybe somebody walked in the room and that's why you haven't said anything. But are you looking for a new show to watch? Like TV show?
I mean, not particularly, but I'm not opposed to hearing about new TV shows.
If you haven't seen Superstore yet, I highly recommend it. It's really funny, very well done, and overall pretty clean humor, like PG-13.
That's the one that is like a riff on Costco, right?
Walmart, yeah.
Or Walmart, okay.
Yeah, more like a Walmart atmosphere, but very well done. And the producer is actually one of the cast members. So she's the main star of the show is actually the producer. So it's kind of cool she's fucking hysterical. It's good.
Awesome.
There's some pretty good moments. So, oh, we were just catching up on that tonight and laughing hysterically.
Nice, I'm getting these in like with 4 sponges per column, so yeah, I'm able to clean house on this.
I definitely would say that this is probably the most efficient way one could clear out an ocean monument, especially using the torch method that Rasinka recommended, because that saves so much time.
Oh yeah.
And a shitload of durability on my shovels too.
Yep, I just saved my shovel now for going down. I had to get reminded again tonight, even though I finally committed to it on Saturday night. I was back to my old tricks tonight. And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling kids. Don't forget to dig up those torches when you're done.
Yep, I already got them. Wow, we got a lot of fucking work done. Holy crap.
Yeah, we did. Pretty fucking great.
Alright, so we gotta color hop and head over.
Yep. Oh man, I might just call it a night, like right down here.
Okay.
And get some sleep. I mean,
Wait, hold on, I'm gonna try something. Go ahead and wait for me down there. I wanna...
Okay. Just made some
Ready?
fantastic progress, though. Okay.
First trip down. In fact, I think we've probably got enough runway here to... We could probably launch out of here with rockets.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, this is good stuff. Oh, but man, it was good. Man, a good random surprise stream, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Productive conversation, and lots of work done. can't ask for a better stream. And of course, some awesome cheers by our good friend.
Thanks for the awesome cheers. Sorry, I got a little carried away with some misinformation early on.
Oh, dude, you're fine. Don't worry about it, man.
But definitely fun talking with everybody and making up for missing out on Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, everybody.
All right, man. Yeah, talk to you guys later.